and welcome to the podcast for Writing in the Academy, meeting expectations and communicating ideas. The goals of this podcast are not to really create a firm understanding of what goes in a text, but instead of giving you that kind of template, it is instead meant to guide you in understanding how you meet the expectations and why you communicate the ideas that you communicate. The first thing we're going to think about is that you are in college. Therefore, you will be asked to perform and to write papers to demonstrate your knowledge. Sometimes professors will give you templates and guidelines, but sometimes you're going to be expected to understand what it means to write and to demonstrate your knowledge without that direct source of information. The key to being able to perform in both of these situations, guidelines and no guidelines, is to have an awareness of the writing situation. What does it mean to write in the academic arena? While academic writing might be defined in many ways, there are three major concepts that you will need to understand as you begin to write your academic papers. Number one, academic writing is writing done by scholars for other scholars. Writing done for scholars, by scholars, this leaves you out, right? But it doesn't. I want you to think about the idea that you are in college. You are now part of this community of scholars. You are going to be engaged in the activities that scholars like myself have been doing for ages, centuries. You will be reading and thinking and arguing and writing about the ideas that are great. This means that you have to meet the requirements, which you need to read, think, argue, and write in the ways of the academy. Now, your education in your areas and in courses will help you to understand the expectations, conventions, and requirements for this scholarship. 2. Academic writing is devoted to topic and questions that are of interest to the academic community. This means that if you're writing in a classroom, you're first going to have to locate a topic or even a question that is relevant and appropriate. But how do you know this? First of all, pay attention in class. Your professor will give you some context and place your observations and ideas into that context. Second, understand that your paper needs to be of interest to other students and scholars. It's more than personal. It's more than saying I like it or I don't like it. You must write something that your readers will find useful in the context of that class. In other words, you'll want to write something that helps your reader understand your topic, areas of inquiry, and other areas you're exploring so that they can see these items in a new way. And the final point, academic writing should present the reader with an informed argument. To construct this type of argument, first you need to sort out what you know about the subject from what you think. Remember, there's a difference between knowledge and thought. Or you could think of it this way. You want to consider what is known about this subject, and then of course determine what you think about it. If your paper fails to inform or to argue, then it will fail to meet the expectation of any academic reader. This brings us to the concept of the rhetorical appeals: ethos, logos, and pathos, from Aristotle's On Rhetoric. These are three of the linchpins or strategies that academic writers use, but it's not only for the academy. We do this outside also when we are appealing to others to listen to us and to hear what we're saying. Ethos is often the strongest or most dominant portion of academic writing. This means in many ways that you need to fulfill the tenets of ethos. Ethos is used to establish credibility, which is key in writing an academic text. Ethos, like the word ethic, means that you are going to establish the values and morals and ideas around your area, your idea, your topic, and your questions. To do this, academics will use proper styles like MLA, APA, and other academic parameters. They will write with a third person. They will use a sense of objective perspectives. This is not subjective. It is not I feel. This is objective. The next area that academics fall under is logos, logic. This is the appeal to logic. This is the use of science, reason, facts, established academic research to support your points of view or inquiry. This means when you're writing, you will want to use reason. You will want to guide your reader to see what you're exploring, how you're exploring, and what you're using to demonstrate your knowledge. Some of the ways that academics use this in their writing is through the act of research. Not only do they read other texts and see how the ideas have been treated, they also engage the various texts for evidence, and points, and counterpoints. In addition, logos also means that you follow a structure. Most of you are familiar with the 5-paragraph essay, but in academic writing there are many different structures you may or may not use in an academic situation. The key is to asking and inquiring which structure fits the audience. Pathos. Pathos is used very, I would say, infrequently in academic writing, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't appear. Pathos is usually an appeal to emotion. When you try to make the reader or readers feel or engage in the topic or material through the emotive. This means that when you're writing in the academic arena, that you're going to want to target the emotive. You don't want people to be angry or upset, glad or sad, but that you want to use the ethos and logos to target the emotive, to inspire a sense of thought and a sense of action. To do this in your writing, you'll want to make sure that you present both sides equally, that you don't just have bias. This is often a way that pathos is stirred up in an academic text. You will also want to make sure that you connect facts and text to your point of view, demonstrating your sense of knowledge and how you're constructing your ideas. And when possible, you can use narrative examples, case studies, or even a reflection on your process. But overall, ethos, pathos, and logos the three go hand in hand when you write in the academy, so that you can meet the expectations and communicate the ideas that you have in your mind to a wide variety of academic audiences, but most importantly to the one that you're being tasked with writing to. If you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to contact me.